Welcome to Old Rare Files. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe, become a member, and like our content.
A marathon race in a park street in the U.S., 1960s. Runner number 261 is grabbed by an official trying to remove her from the race. In 1967, women were still banned from marathons. A modern crane lifts a massive stone during the restoration of Stonehenge. Actors appear in full costume during a relaxed moment offset. An ice hockey game on a frozen lake. The ice breaks near the goal and players fall into the water. The Chernobyl nuclear complex before the 1986 disaster that permanently changed nuclear safety rules. Women line up on a staircase, wearing white dresses and veils, creating a repeating visual pattern. An albino chimpanzee infant is examined by professionals in an improvised setting. A wounded soldier walks with bandaged eyes, guided by a local fighter along a narrow path. A woman tests a mechanical machine designed to massage and shape the body, common before modern gyms. A woman poses beside a giant barrel labeled Queen of the Mist, with a cat sitting on top. A nighttime air raid over Moscow during World War II, with searchlights cutting through the sky. A Japanese-American family waits with luggage during World War II. Children hold toys, showing the human impact of forced internment. Window washers work hanging from a skyscraper without modern safety equipment. The reopening of legal beer sales after Prohibition, with crowds celebrating in the streets. A man in a suit throws books and documents down the steps of an official building. An experimental World War I armored vehicle parked on a narrow European street. An American soldier hands food and cigarettes through a fence to prisoners wearing striped uniforms. A European sports car stopped as a woman performs an improvised mechanical repair. An Old West saloon scene with armed men holding customers at gunpoint. The Antonov AN-225 carries the Buran space shuttle, designed to transport massive space program components. A family poses next to a snow-covered car in January 1977, during one of the harshest winters of the century. A thoughtful woman sits at a desk with a human skull in a forensic study setting. Camouflage nets and fake trees cover the ground to deceive enemy aircraft during the Pacific War. A European street covered in rubble after a wartime bombing. A young woman plays Pac-Man at an arcade, marking the rise of video game culture. 3 boys listen to audio using headphones connected to a portable box. A young cyclist writes while using a smaller child's head as a surface. The Tick-Tock drive-in restaurant. Neon lights and a futuristic design reflect post-war optimism and car culture. Two young women in an intimate moment, wearing hairstyles and clothes of the era. The image shows friendship, affection, and freedom during strict post-war times. An aircraft factory in the U.S. Women work inside the fuselage, showing the massive female entry into industrial labor during the war. The interior of a factory after a major fire, with burned cars and damaged structures. A woman uses an early camera among vegetation. An improvised armored vehicle moves through an urban street during World War I. A destroyed German military aircraft in a rural area during World War II. A military aircraft is launched from a ship using a catapult, a common World War II technique. Hundreds of military aircraft parked in endless rows in the desert. Workers gather beside the last major Plymouth car before the factory fully shifted to wartime production during World War II. Workers clear rubble and carry bricks to rebuild European cities after wartime bombings. A wide view of a massive engineering project with hundreds of workers in trenches. A ship passes through a lock surrounded by crowds, showing the scale of the canal linking the Atlantic and Pacific. Forestry workers pose beside a massive, freshly cut tree trunk. A worker manually assembles metal type for printing, a key process before the digital age. A warehouse filled with crates bearing a "no smoking" warning due to fire risk. A Russian sign reads "sausages," a basic product often missing from Soviet store shelves. A model poses while an artist draws her live. Strong lighting and a simple setting highlight the pin-up style of the era. A nurse assists a patient in a clinical bathtub used for relaxation and physical recovery. A muscular ballet dancer trains posture at the bar while an instructor corrects his form. A chess class at a school, with a teacher demonstrating moves as children follow along. A luxurious banquet in a grand hall with chandeliers, flowers, and men in tuxedos making a toast. A formal portrait of a middle-aged man with a thick mustache and a serious gaze. A man poses in a studio holding revolvers, dressed in frontier-style clothing. A man on horseback poses on a snow-covered street, equipped for long journeys. Military officers pose in a small room with a chessboard painted on the wall. Two American soldiers rest at a high vantage point during the Vietnam War. Men help each other climb a steep stone wall. Young people watch a handmade racing car, symbolizing the experimental early days of motorsports. A line of men at a community soup kitchen during the Great Depression, wearing simple clothes and tired expressions. Leaders of Egypt, the U.S., and Israel talk informally during the 1978 Camp David peace negotiations. A couple relaxes along the banks of the Seine River in post-war Paris.